Now that you've collected the magic you'd like to perform, you have to make a show out of it. The requirements for a birthday party show are a little different than shows for other occasions. You can expect your advertising to generate calls for picnics, bar mitzvahs, first communions, keep the kids busy at wedding receptions, Christmas or Halloween shows. Around here we get Hispanic and Muslim holidays as well. But 99% of the shows you get will be birthday parties. So let's focus on the essentials. Magic, of course. Starring the birthday child, of course. You want the birthday child to be the star of the high point in the show, usually the big trick with an animal, and parents get nervous if that doesn't happen fairly early in the show. And what I call added value features. The client expects at least one more feature, more than just magic. Do you make balloons for everybody is the usual question, and I'll show you some balloon basics later. Let's just focus on the magic for now. Many beginning performers don't understand that a show is more than just a series of magical effects. They're used to showing their family or friends a trick, or maybe 2 or 3 tricks, and stopping. Or they think of the usual magic show on television. The magician is introduced, comes on stage, does 3 or 4 isolated effects, and leaves to make way for the next magician. But if you're doing a birthday party show, you have to be the whole show. You're the opening act that gets the audience ready for a great show. You're the performer, the comic, even the host that provides continuity and added activities. More than that, you're the stagehand and the ticket seller and the usher. Just showing up and doing a few magic tricks and leaving is not enough. So, how do you do that? Build a complete show on the foundation of the magic you've chosen? What you need to do to begin with is vary the rhythm and pace, vary the focus from the volunteers to the guest of honor, vary the tone from quiet and still to loud and active, vary the whole darn audience. Come closer, everybody come up here and sit close to me. Scoot back, stand up, sit down, ask them to decide, should we have games and prizes before we pet the bunny? What other considerations are there as you shape your magic show? You want a set program with a limited number of carefully chosen effects, adjustable in length, clean, fail-safe, and entertaining to a young audience. Why a set program? Because you don't just want to be making this up as you go from whatever tricks you feel like doing today. Real mastery, not just skill, but mastery, comes from polishing the same effects performance after performance. That's the main difference between the performances of an amateur and those of a professional. The amateur performs an ever-changing array of tricks for the same people. The professional performs the same tricks for an ever-changing audience. That's why the performances you see at the Magic Club are sometimes so lame. The magicians may be very skilled, but the routines don't have the benefit of years of polish. True, your act will change over years, but it will be largely made up of the same effects year after year. You won't get bored. You'll gain the kind of confidence that comes from knowing your act will make the audience very happy every time. Why adjustable in length? Well, clients want a choice. Some children, small children, can only sit still for at most 30 minutes, and parties in schools usually limit your visit to 30 minutes. So the core selling features of your act and the added value features need to fit into a 30-minute show. Then you can add additional magic to make up longer show. Here's how my act works. The 30-minute act is the big trick, the magic with the birthday child and the animal, then the gift for the birthday child, then the games and prizes. The 45-minute act adds the magic drawing board, and the full hour adds the magic story. What do I mean by clean? Well, you won't be appreciated if you leave confetti all over the place. And fail-safe. Well, 3 things. There should be little or no chance that the trick will not be understood. Effects asking the children to remember a series of things, like particular cards, or to do more than the simplest actions, may be too confusing. Now, second, there should be nothing in your act that will do damage, no accidents waiting to happen, no liquids, no fire, no sharp objects, no big bangs. Even if what you're doing isn't dangerous to imitate, remember Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and it will do it at the worst possible time. And it's true. When you think about safety, never think it can't happen to me, because it will happen to you in the course of time. That flash paper will get out of your hand and burn somebody. That raw egg will drop onto the expensive Persian carpet. That glass of liquid will spill. Don't risk it. In these litigious times, you stand to lose everything you have from the tiniest of injuries. Remember, you never hear anybody say, "I'm going to do something stupid." You always hear, "Gosh, that was stupid. Why did I ever do it?" Third, I'm shocked at how many effects are marketed as children's magic that use fire or other things that would be very dangerous if children tried to imitate them. Those effects are very tempting to a performer because they're flashy and the excitement comes without a lot of real creative work. But as flashy and exciting as they are, that's just how much they're a temptation to children to imitate. Remember, to the child's mind, it's not real danger, it's magic. After all, you did the same thing right in their living room safely. And saying, "This is dangerous, don't try it at home," is just meaningless. It's just asking for little Johnny to sneak off with a can of paint thinner and the matches. It's not empty moralizing. I've seen little Johnny after he did it, and I don't enjoy remembering the sight. What material is entertaining to a young audience? If you don't yet have children of your own, you may not know that children are not just little adults who start stupid and get smarter as they get older. As children grow, from birth right up to adulthood, their minds go through some predictable developmental stages. And the entertainment they enjoy and can understand is very much conditioned on their stage of intellectual, emotional, and cognitive growth. You don't need to take a class to learn what you need to know. A quick gloss is enough. Let's look at the various ages. 1s and 2s are off in space. Tell a parent a 1-year-old is going to pay no attention at all. I still often hear them say, "Oh, but she likes the clowns she sees on TV." That's a cue to me not to take the show, because the first time a kid screams when you walk in the door or cries when they shove her at you, it's all your fault. You are a bad clown and we're not paying you. Well, a picture is worth 1,000 words, so here's the picture. If you can get the parents to understand that you can perform for the older children, if they'll mostly be 4, 5, and older, that's just fine. But if everybody's going to be 1 or 2 or 3, they're just going to drool and give you blank stares. Remember, I did outline an alternative show for 1 to 4-year-olds in the previous chapter. 3s are often afraid of any stranger, especially on a day when everyone keeps fussing over them. And parents need to remember they'll usually feel uncomfortable and refuse to help with the big trick you'd like to start them in. But there are ways we'll get to in a minute that I've found pretty successful to encourage them. Some 4s are a little bit afraid. Most are quiet, but they rise to the occasion if most of the audience is older and they can model what they should be doing. 5s to 7s are the beginning of your major audience, reasonably compliant, able to follow what you're doing, and very happy to have you there. 8s to 12s. You are entertaining them, I guarantee it, even though they're more interested in talking to each other or wrestling while you do your act. Just ignore the static. For teens. Sometimes you can get on their side and work together to have fun. Sometimes they're going to think, "This crummy magician my parents hired isn't going to make me laugh." Their developmental work at this age is becoming an autonomous, separate person. Some of them can do it in a positive way. Others need to do it by rejecting anything their parents hand them, including your show. Usually I can work with 13s and 14s. After that, I just don't do older teenagers' parties at all, ever. There are good authorities that say that if you treat them with respect or like adults and don't try to do children's magic, they'll respond. But my act is full of children's magic, and even though a lot of it works in my adult act, it doesn't work for teen audiences. All right, you've got an initial program of magic, but I mentioned that you need some additional features. You really need something more than just magic to make a complete birthday party show. And it may be most helpful to think of these features as added value material. Many, even most magicians and clowns do balloon sculpture as added value material. It has almost become an expected part of a birthday party show, and you may want to start that way too, because it does sell well, and it does fill up the time you need to fill. Filling the hour may be your most pressing need as you begin. So, learn some simple balloon sculptures. I'll show you a few in a minute. You'll certainly find it a valuable skill to have in reserve, and a good basic repertoire is very easy to learn. But they do take a lot of time to make for 20 kids, and they get bored when you do one, and one, and one. And the first kids start running around hitting each other with them and breaking them and crying for more, and they only last about 30 minutes or so anyway. Some sources suggest solving that problem by bringing balloons already blown up to twist at the party. But the darn things get tired while you're driving to the first party. They certainly won't be able to last for 2 or 3 parties worth in your car. They'll be much too soft to twist by the time you need them. There are some alternative ways to make sure that everybody gets something to get home. Ways that use your time better. What I prefer to do is make a special gift for the guests of honor. Here's what I make. For the boys 5 and older, I make this rocket ship. For the girls 5 and older, I make this butterfly. And for everybody who's 4, 3, 2, and 1, yes, 1s enjoy this, I make this smiley face ball. They come from Rhode Island Novelty. I'll give you the link at the end of the video. There are other sources as well. They cost me from 50 cents to $1.50 each, and they add many dollars to the perceived value I deliver. And then I get everybody on their feet for some very quick games. Everybody wins, and they get their prize when they come up to pet the bunny. Should we play one more game? Yeah! Everybody stand up again for me, please, won't you? Thank you. All right, here we go. We are going to have, whoops, let's try that again. We're going to have a hop like a bunny contest. Let me see if you know how bunnies are. Get down, up, okay, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, go. When I say go, I want to see bunnies hopping all over the floor, and the best bunny gets a prize. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Hop like bunnies, hop like bunnies. Oh my goodness, look at the bunnies. What a bunch of goofy bunnies. Look at all those silly bunnies. And 3 groundhogs. Look at that over there. Oh, that's enough bunnies. That's enough bunnies. Who was the best bunny? All of you. You mean you think I should give you all a prize? Oh, I'm going to have to think about that. I know. We will have a stupid, ugly, silly, disgusting face contest. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, go. When I say go, you look right at the grown-ups. You make your stupidest, ugliest, most disgusting face. And the one who makes the ugliest, you don't have to do it, sir. Oh, real face, I'm sorry. The one who makes the ugliest face gets a prize. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Yeah. Turn around, make them a day. Hang them over here. Who made the worst face? All of you. You mean you think I should give you all a prize? I'm going to have to think about that. Sit down. Oh, yes, you did. Well, everybody sit down. No, I know.
The one who can sing happy summer to you, like happy birthday, the loudest, no, the softest. Happy summer to you, softer. Happy summer to you, softer. Happy summer, everybody, softer. Who sang the softest? All of you! Yeah! All right, everybody wins a prize. Good. Let's see what we've got in the way of prizes. I just opened it this morning. A brand new can of worms.
Yeah!
All right, I was saving it for dinner. A big bowl of weasel soup.
No!
Hey, I make that with fresh weasels. All right, chocolate-covered lima beans.
No!
Oh, you're so picky. But then, for the boys, I have these beautiful heart bracelets, and for the girls, snakes.
Yeah!
What, the other way around? All right, well, I'll tell you what. You can have whichever one you like. Would that make you happy?
Or sometimes I just give everybody money rings. They come from the same place. It doesn't slow down the show. The prizes don't take 20 minutes to hand out, and they don't pop like balloons. I have tried add-on sales like goodie bags or a magic set for the birthday child, but these things take a lot of effort and they produce a meager profit. But almost anything you do to give something for free increases your perceived value and your total bookings. One final word: practice. You'll have to find the best way to do that. Videotape is excellent. Simple repetition. Showing your effects to your family again and again. Don't worry, they love you, they'll watch. An old magic truism is everybody needs some place to be lousy. You need some practice that only public performance will give you. So do volunteer shows. Do shows for neighborhood children. Perform anywhere you can. You'll become more comfortable with what once was a source of stage fright. Your conscious mind will soon be able to focus on what's being fed back from the audience so you can fine-tune your presentation, because with enough repetition, your body will learn how to do the routines by itself without having to think about it.